PYX 106, Quinn and Cantera.
1-800-LAW-1010, 1-800-LAW-1010.com. It's Chas Farcher, everybody.
Pinch hitting for Paul Harding from Martin Harding and Mazzotti. Good morning, Chas.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good to be back.
So help us out. Massachusetts legalized weed today. You can buy an ounce or less. Technically, you can't drive into New York with weed. However, we learned that Soares, what's his title
Soares
there?
is not the DA, is that it?
What's his title, Chaz?
He's District Attorney of Albany County.
We heard he's not going to prosecute anyone with under an ounce. So technically, can I go get some and drive it over?
Still illegal under New York law, so it's still illegal. Possession of marijuana is still illegal in New York. It's not been legalized, recreational or otherwise. The only thing that Soares said is his office in Albany County is no longer going to prosecute low-level offenses, possession of marijuana, an ounce or two or less. That doesn't mean you can smoke it in public. It doesn't mean you can drive while under the influence of it. It doesn't mean you can sell it. But it does mean that if you happen to get pulled over or stopped or arrested and you have a small amount on you, well,
phone Farcher.
I don't know if that's a small.
That's only in Albany County.
Correct.
Right,
every DA in every county has discretion to decide what crimes they're going to prosecute or not.
So as my attorney, how would you advise me to go get some? You wouldn't.
Go get it in Massachusetts and stay there.
There you go.
Spend the weekend.
By the way, if you're going to Massachusetts, you don't need a Massachusetts ID.
Just
you
need a license, government issued.
Yeah, government issued ID, but you can't bring it back. So what does that do? Nobody's in jail because of weed possession that's going to now get freed because of this, right?
Well, his office also said if you had a prior conviction for this low-level offense, and again, we're not talking about, major felony drug kingpins or things like that. Generally, possession of an ounce or less than that is a violation anyway. So it's the equivalent of a glorified traffic ticket. It's punishable by up to 90 days in jail, which never happens on a small fine.
For the DA to come out and say, less than an ounce, we're not going to do it. We can't waste our time. We got other fish to fry. In your opinion, as a student of law, is this a sign that we're going to get closer to legal weed here in New York?
Yeah, but you look at it, and this is kind of the internal conflict that's been going on in this country for the last decade. There have been states that have been legalizing it over the last 5-10 years. And at the same time, it's still technically illegal under the federal law. So, you can go buy marijuana in Colorado, you can smoke it, you can have it, whatever else. But there's no guarantee that the feds don't kick down your door at some point and arrest you because it's still technically against the law. So, it's a
right.
You can't even put your money in the bank.
No.
You're afraid to put your money in the bank.
That's why I think that everybody's going to get legal with the feds first before we get every state.
What's Whitaker all about? We knew what Sessions was all about.
Hey, what if Cantera stands in the Massachusetts on the border and takes a big bong rip, and then I stand in the New York border and he blows it in my face? Is that legal?
Well, technically, it's illegal because even in Massachusetts, you can't smoke in public like you can't smoke in public in New York.
What if you're in your house?
What
and
if we
I
had
have a house?
houses like? Yeah, right. And we had a straw.
Where we share a property or something. Yeah, eventually this
I
is
love
to
this.
go to
You guys
jail
should put this on the New York State bar exam. It's like a law school question here. It's fantastic.
Hey, what's Thanksgiving like over at the Farcher residence this week?
Oh man, I'll tell you what, it's something else. My in-laws, who I love dearly, who live right here with me, right down the street here, are Italian immigrants, and I love me a big old turkey. And they get that the gist of Thanksgiving is a lot of food, but sometimes I think the type of food may be lost. So it's usually lasagna and fried rice balls and
fish. You got
pasta.
fish.
There's fish. There's everything you could want, basically.
Oh.
That's all right. Eat what you want to eat.
Well, what do you got? What are you up to? 9 kids now?
I'll tell you, man, 3, and running me ragged. Part of the reason I haven't seen you guys in so long. I've been busy with that.
Man.
What about you, Uncle Quinn? When do you got them coming?
Everything. I got family. I got family on the other. With the in-laws. They're coming up from Tennessee. They hit a deer on the way. They're taking a rental the other.
So they're having turkey and deer at Quinn's house this Thursday.
With the legalization of marijuana in Albany County, or the decision not to prosecute, inhibitions will be lowered, Mr. Quinn. You can get yourself a hotel room. You're going to have a couple kids on the way in no time.
That's it.
Those are two things that don't cross when it comes to my wife's family. It's like it is unmentioned by them. Literally 6.5 years unmentioned. And then, with my family, they smoke right around the Thanksgiving dinner table.
Everybody's different. Just don't talk weed, politics, or religion at the table.
There you go.
And you'll be
There you
good.
go.
Well, that's all right. They don't say anything anyways.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving to you and your family, Chaz.
And same to you, gentlemen. Thanks as always for having me on.
Thanks, pal. 1-800-LAW-1010, 1-800-LAW-1010.com. Chas Farcher, Martin Harding Mazzotti.
Quinn and Cantera in the morning. Classic rock all day on PYX 106.